Jaden Daniels' absence means this isn't the game we were expecting. But at the same time, with the way the Chiefs are running through everybody right now, I'm not sure it would matter. You're watching The Perfect Lineup, where Josh Engleman and myself, Dave Loughran, try to take down a tournament with one of these beauties we're building in this video right here. I'm going to lay the foundation, build out the core, some with more, some with fewer players. Let Josh take it over to the single lineup sims and let them do their magic. Of course, showdowns are difficult, so we're going to try and do a little bit of odd stuff. Some of it's going to be a little bit more traditional. And of course, all of you watching this have a shot of winning a free week of Sims Max NFL. It's pretty nice. We do this every single video, and all you got to do for this one, this is going to be fun, man, because if you get this right on the opposite side and get contrarian, there may be no wheel spin. You may just have a week of Sims to yourself. Guess the winner of tonight's game and by how much. So essentially, I don't want both teams. Just tell me Chiefs by 10, Commanders by 4, whatever it may be. Throw that in the comments, and Josh will pick a winner for Thursday's video. Let's get into it. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave those comments down below. Let's make it happen. All right, so you got the Commanders 11.5 point dogs against the Chiefs this week. It's tough. Even honestly, and you heard me say it in the intro, even if Jaden Daniels was in, they're still going to be, touchdown dogs here. You have Rashee Rice back. Isaiah Pacheco is playing better in the backfield. Patrick Mahomes is having his best season in multiple years. The defense is fantastic. You have a shutdown corner in McDuffie. You have a good pass rush. From top to bottom, this Chiefs team, legitimately, and I hate always buying into media hype like, oh, they're back. You know, the Kansas City Chiefs. This is what we've been expecting. You can't stop the Chiefs now. Some of that might be true, or watch, they just come into this game on Monday night and lose. Wouldn't that be something? I would never put it past any team to lose a game they're expected to win by a lot. It happens every single week. Case in point, look what the Miami Dolphins did to the Falcons last week. But we are going to build a couple lineups with a blowout, or at least one of them with a blowout in mind. We'll build one with kind of a chalky core, and then the other one we're going to get into right now is just getting a little bit different at the captain spot. I want to start with Isaiah Pacheco at captain. Why? Patrick Mahomes right now is projected within our data for 40% captain ownership. That's insane. I'm not saying you can't do it, but that is an insane amount of ownership. Like, that's Lamar Jackson 3 years ago, primetime ownership before Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? This is an insane amount of ownership. So I want to try it a little different. Go Isaiah Pacheco at captain, and then I want to run Patrick Mahomes and Rashee Rice at the flex. Here's where we're going to get interesting. We're going to go naked Marcus Mariota as our one spot for Washington. My hope here is that we get to a 5-1 with a naked Mariota. And if that's the case, I think this will be very unique. You still get the two best players on today's slate in Mahomes and Rice, but you also have a guy in Pacheco who's running the ball much better lately. And had that game not blown out last week, he was on his way to like 16, 17 carries. So there is a path here for him to have a really solid game. Anyway, let's run that one and see what we can do. 0% randomness.
Time to build some lineups. I love this part of the day. I love getting into the single lineup simulator at Stokastic.com. Get my fingers dirty, moving these players around. And first, we're just going to take what Loughy just set up for you guys. Pacheco into the captain spot. Mahomes, Rashee Rice, and per the note that I see on the screen for myself, because Loughy's setting me up here, Marcus Mariota naked. So no randomness is going to be applied here. I'm going to complete this lineup. It's going to give us the optimal plays for the $9,700 that we have left. And I'm hoping that it gives us no pass catchers for my Commanders. We got what we needed here, but not in the way that I thought we were going to go. Onslaught season, 5-1 Chiefs. We add the defense. We grab Harrison Butker. So we've got kicker, D, 3 more Chiefs, and just a lone Marcus Mariota. Time to find out how this one looks. We're going to click Run Lineup Simulation to find out. See, this one makes me happy. 5.5% sim ROI, 0.1% chance to win, 36.5% cash rate. This is the right outcome for this lineup. My Commanders are not going to get walked all over with an onslaught lineup. Loughy, you got to go back to the drawing board.
On to lineup number 2. And don't forget, Josh is going to post a Tails exclusive perfect lineup over on Tails today. Make sure you're following both of us. I may not post a DFS lineup, but I did post a Woody Marks ladder play at plus 550 that hit in the first quarter. I must say, that felt good. That felt good. Hit on the Jalen Noel, easy. The Alvin Kamara's. We had a nice little betting week yesterday. Could have been way better if the Steelers covered that, and it looked good at halftime. But you know what? We'll take a good week when we get it, especially because DFS was not nearly as good to me on Sunday, and I need something to claw back those losses. But if you're not following us over on Tails, everything's free. Everything's free over there. No reason not to grab free bets, free DFS content, and become part of a community that we're building on a platform that we are building that I think is becoming really great, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. This is the one where we get a little weird. We're going Brashard Smith at captain. Why? Guy has a 58% target per route run rate over the last 4 weeks, even with Rashee Rice back last week. What that means is that he doesn't run a ton of routes. He's not on the field a ton. But last week, what we saw was Brashard Smith get a ton of blowout run. I'm willing to play some tournaments a little bit weird when you have an 11.5 point favorite and Marcus Mariota as the opposing quarterback. Yeah, you have Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel back, but really good pass coverage for the Kansas City Chiefs. If this game does get out of hand early, they could just resort to what they did against the Raiders. But also, Brashard Smith is getting involvement, even with Rice back last week, in the passing game and on the ground. It's not a ton, but at his price point, I think what that allows us to do, and especially since we're seeing Kareem Hunt's role diminished by the week, is go Mahomes and Rice again at captain, and then we're going to flex Deebo here. My hope is that we get Marcus Mariota and Deebo, and we get a little 4-2 action here, which means that Mariota throws to Deebo playing from behind, and you have Brashard Smith in garbage time, maybe even in some neutral game script time, or non-blowout time, garbage time, where he could get involved. But I'm okay doing some weird stuff. Is this likely to hit often? No, but we're trying to win a tournament. We're not trying to chop with 30 other people, which is exactly what we're going to talk about in our next build.
I thought we were going to go back to the drawing board. This looks like the same drawing board to me. We're going a different direction in the captain spot this time. Brashard Smith showing up sub 1% owned. This is going to be a very different build. Mahomes in again. Rice in again. But this time, Mariota gets the boot. Enter Deebo Samuel, $14,400 left for the 2 remaining spots. I need to see some commanders here. I need an optimal Washington play. I can't take another onslaught. Okay, better, I guess. This time Butker stays, but we get Marcus Mariota again. 4-2 Chiefs, $200 left on the table. Make my heart feel a little bit better here. Mariota to Samuel 4 times tonight. We can get a dub. See, all we needed was more commanders. 74% sim ROI, a 0.4% chance to win, 29.9% cash rate. You'll see that number is lower. That is solely because of Brashard Smith in the captain spot. That makes you much less likely to cash, but when you're right, much more likely to win big numbers.
All right, third and final perfect lineup. Maybe one of them will be perfect. We'll see. And by perfect, I mean give us a nice score today. And of course, if you guys want access to the single lineup sims and the entire suite of tools that we have over at Stokastic. By the way, another Stokastic Millie winner yesterday. Another Millie winner. That took 8 weeks, and we have 2 Stokastic Millie winners on the season. Also, if you're playing low stakes, don't think it's not for you either. Use that link in the description. That perfect 25 promo code will auto load for you, and that means you get 25% off your first month, core or max, of the NFL Sims, whichever one you decide. First month is 25% off. All you got to do is use that link in the description. So I'm going to go a very simple build here, and I'm only going to go 2. In the first 2 lineups, we went with 4 and let the single lineup sim round out the final 2. 0% randomness on both of them. However, with this one, I'm going to go with the chalk Mahomes. This is just a thought experiment here, and we're going to go with Rashee Rice as the flex. That's it. But we're going to crank this to 20% randomness and see if the Sims can give us something good around them that is unique, that is not going to be duped to the moon, and see if we can sim this out positively. I think we can, and I do think there's going to be great lineups you can still build with Mahomes and Rice. But if you're just going with the traditional build type with Mahomes at captain, Rice at flex, and then jamming in other guys that are all within that like 30 to 50% flex or 20 to 40% flex ownership range, you're going to come up with lineups that, you know, in the lotto, even in single entry stuff, are going to be duped so much that you need to be perfect. And while we're trying to be perfect on this video, we know damn well it's a better video title and concept than it is in practice.
Now, as a baseline build, this is going to be pretty popular. Loughy's just taking us down a very specific path, but we're going to work with it a little bit. Rice at the captain, Mahomes coming in the flex. That all makes sense. But that's a pretty chalky start. So what we're going to do is add 20% randomness. This could really give us some interesting combinations of 4 players here. And I'm hoping this is going to be the spot that allows us to get to a little bit more commanders, find a bit more balance, and beat out that second lineup. Not as many commanders as I was hoping for. It's another 4-2 leaning towards the Chiefs. Speaking of the Chiefs, their defense enters this lineup, as does Harrison Butker. But we've got Debo and Zach Ertz. Ertz making his first appearance in one of these 3 lineups. $600 left on the table. I'm hopeful for this one. I think Ertz could save us here. I want to beat out lineup number 2 so bad. And make sure you're paying attention on Twitter to either myself or Loughy. I'm going to drop the bonus perfect lineup on Twitter, but the write-up is on Tails. If you want to know who's in the lineup, that's where you need to be. That's where you should be following along. We snuck it over the line, but not by much. 15.5% sim ROI, 29% cash rate. A bit lower than I was expecting to see here. This lineup needs a little bit of work, but I know for one thing, we built the perfect lineup. It just happened to be second.